how much knowledge or potential actions or misinformation has spread because what was discussed in the meeting is either forgotten, misunderstood, not communicated enough. And imagine if you could just get that transcription in and you kind of build the super, which you can go down a tangent, which is all of a sudden there's this intelligence that just absorbs everything that's being said by us, who are we're suddenly becoming little like modules in like an intelligence system, and there's like one
Mm.
big intelligence like just monitoring everything we say. And that's a bit Orwellian and freaks me out. But in a more practical, maybe short term, it'll be really nice to have just I've had so many meetings where I leave them and I'm like, I should have taken notes. And then I
I
go into
mean,
Zoom and I'm like trying to do it and I'm like, it's not enabled. And maybe that's just a thing that we're dealing with now. And in 5 years, it's going to be like, well, obviously, did you check the Zoom transcription? It's like, or did you ask the AI to tell you what you did in that meeting on Tuesday, the 3rd?
mm, yeah. Yeah, I 100% expect the world you just described to be right on us. The pieces are kind of around. I think a lot of it is just like the software already exists.
Right?
It's just not being enabled by all the IT admins yet because it's all a lot of it's a bit new, and we're trying to be careful
Yeah,
because like uh, like before you enable something like that, you've got to know that it knows how permission works. Like you got to so for example, the like you're talking in a call and you want it recorded, but you don't want everyone to be able to hear it. Um, whatever if you're using a kind of a source of truth bot now, which is recording things, which is like I know centralizing the information, which is a great thing we want. Someone says a date for a deliverable in a meeting. And
exactly.
now anyone, whether they're in the call or not, you want them to be able to ask, it's like, hey, what's the deadline for this? Okay. What are the milestone deliverables for this? And like, guys,
Literally.
knows. Rather than even, it's almost like, will we even have written documentation? It will be there, but would you use it? Or would you just ask? Ask in the same way that we don't go to the library anymore. We just Google. Um, and this, but we've got to be careful of. Then, for example, if you're having personnel conversations, some things would have to literally be confidential by law. Like to that level, um, is that being supported by your system? And are you do you know where the controls are to be accountable for your
Right?
confidential stuff being confidential?
Because what happens if it
Um,
leaks? What happens you're in a live service game and you leak the next expansion or the next
yeah,
sequel, and all of a sudden, like you're, especially for large gaming companies, like this is a risk. Like, how do you control that? I think that's kind of
yeah,
why also
yeah,
tangentially, Apple had its own Apple AI, right? It's a Apple
hmm yeah,
intelligence thing, and they completely rolled it back because they're like, we did not consider the edge cases. When all of a
yeah.
sudden you put an AI into someone's phone that just knows everything about what's going on in their phone, like,
It's too much, yeah. But
it,
even like forgetting, forgetting IPs, you like in an organization as well. It can be more personally confidential. If someone's if someone is like whistleblowing, making a complaint, it's a performance review. All of this stuff like this, you can like you like on two grounds. One, this is not fair on them, and two, the law knows that. So you become liable,
yeah.
and so you do need to tread carefully with these tools. Um, and I'm sure piece by piece, people will find the ways of like how to make this safe and easier ways to say like, is this call private or make this call private? Because that you do need both. Like a good a good public, like a good kind of mostly public or within organizationally public space relies on the security of safe private ones
Yeah.
as well. Having those distinct is good. But I think it's going to be so interesting. I think it's going to be most interesting for the new studios, like with every tool. Um, like the older, great big studios aren't going to know, they aren't going to feel their way through this in a way that brand new studios are. The people that are in university right now, and they are going to enter the games market, maybe start studios, which are already LLM documentation chat and a communication
Yeah, for sure.
ready. Like the solutions are already present. And so like their business starts from a point of having this digital source of truth that can stay in touch forever, that can update forever. Like you don't have to remember where the documents are. Like you just say, okay, we're not doing this now. The practice is now this. Um, and the like, and maybe afterwards, like actually, this is a thing I want to see. I haven't seen yet. Which is the AI messaging you proactively.
Hmm.
Like, it's going to be so interesting when I'm just going to keep using Jarvis because like spent 10 years watching Marvel films. So when like you have a meeting and then afterwards Jarvis sends you a message and saying you declared the new practice on this. Shall I update the central database? And that's kind of what I want as well.
Yeah,
Like it's doing the work, but it continues to empower the human. Like AI labor, great. AI decision making, no.
exactly. AI assistant, great. AI doer, it's kind of like we're going to be moving away from. I don't think significantly, but I think in a fundamental sense, the saturation of AAA studios are going to slowly kind of. They're not going to go away, but you're going to get all these people empowered by these LLMs, these startups, or these small
Mm,
businesses that can now do so much more because you have this Jarvis in your system doing a lot of the organization, a lot of, in some ways, the management, the coding, all that. Like you can put on your doomsday hat and be like, humans are no longer needed, but that's just not the reality of it. Humans are always going to be needed, at least in the next couple decades. But you won't need so many. And so you're going to have lots of small indie companies, in my opinion, maybe quote me, dude, remind me on Reddit, that whole thing, remind me in 10 years. But I think we're going to be seeing a lot more indie companies made up by 4 or 5 people, 6 people that are making high quality potential AA games just through the efficiency that you get from these LLM tools or just these
yeah.
GPT tools that can do things for you. And it's not going to replace work. It's just going to fragment the industry. And
Mm.
I think maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
I mean, this is the funny thing. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? It almost doesn't matter. It is just a thing.
It's just the
Like,
evolution of what's going to happen. Yeah.
yeah, it's just a new technology. The, I have seen, and I think one of the aspects that's super interesting is, I think of accessibility again. You take a tool you imagine Unreal, you imagine Unity, you imagine that editor, and you think of the depth of it, like the things you have to understand,
Yeah.
and all the controls, the switches, the parameters, this. Um, I have seen people demo online things where they took one of these, they've hooked up an LLM to it, and they say, create me a character that I know sells weapons that jokes with the player, and is dressed like this. And from there, you can maybe work or tweet or even start saying, but you start you're starting to get to the point where you don't you could do a lot without actually having to know how the tool works.
Exactly.
You don't need
Yeah.
to know how to get in. And this isn't this isn't a paradigm in a vacuum, because we have come in less than half a century from the point where like you had to code every square you saw on the screen one by one. like that was how they rendered games. They said you were coding, cool, this pixel changes, this pixel changes, this pixel changes. It is bonkers. Like
It
we
was
think again
brutal.
about
Yeah.
like how music used to be generated for games. And
Exactly.
you can still look now, you can look at Family Tracker and how much you had to understand just to get a sound. Like you would I love watching these things. They have four synth channels, and the drums have to be kind of split across two of them, because the noise channel handles the hi-hat and the snare, but the bass has to be done with a, like, as part of the synth, just like,
Yeah.
you had to understand that just to make basic music. And then better tools came, and better tools came, and better tools came, and better tools are coming again. And what it does, like, knowing the science remains empowering because you can push it. And something I've been super pleased to see as more and more good game tools have grown up, become accessible, is the games have got better. And newer people have been able to come in and bring themselves into video games. Like I think there's these huge shifts to things like cozy games. Like I think this is a fantastic entry into the world of games, because it came from a different place. Like a lot of it's come from new developers that wanted to do their way, but they weren't part of the market before. Like they weren't like before you had to convince a few publishers that their market, which already had to exist, was going to pay money for your game. And we're lucky now that there are places to publish that you don't need to convince someone of that.
Yeah.
And you have the tools to do it as well. So I'm so glad to see how many people, you don't necessarily have to be a programmer to make a game now. Maybe you're just a writer. Maybe you're just an illustrator, and you've got something that's worth sharing.